Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will travel to Uzbekistan for the crucial SCO meeting. Along with attending the two-day summit, the Indian leader will also hold bilateral meetings with Russian President Vladimir Putin on the sidelines of the SCO meeting. Ties between the two countries have strengthened over the years, with defense and now energy forming the main pillars. This as India, which rarely used to buy Russian oil, has now emerged as Moscow's second biggest oil customer after China. The upcoming meeting in Samarkand will be the first meeting between the two leaders since Russia launched military operation in Ukraine.
While the Ukraine conflict divides the world, the West is keen on more isolation of Russia. Amidst this, Russia is keen to emphasize and embrace Asian giants like India and China. A meeting with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be shot in the arm for the Russian President Vladimir Putin. A picture Moscow desperately needs even as it battles the fallout of the Ukraine conflict.
Now, according to an official statement from the Kremlin, both the leaders will meet in Uzbekistan on Friday and will discuss energy, trade as well as sales of Russian fertilizers. This comes as India is now looking for a 3-year fertilizer import deal with Russia. Russia is India's important partner when it comes to nuclear energy. Moscow has been backing India's membership at the NSG or Nuclear Suppliers Group and also in the United Nations Security Council. Cooperation in space has been another key area of cooperation between both countries. Russia has trained Indian astronauts who will be on board the Gaganyaan spacecraft, India's first manned mission to the space. And for more on this, we are now being joined by WION Principal Diplomatic Correspondent Siddhant Sibal from Samarkand. Hi Siddhant. The summit is to review SCO's activities over the past 20 years and discuss various aspects related to multilateral cooperation. In essence, give us a brief of what to expect from tomorrow and the significance of this meeting to India and countries in South Asia.
Well, Eric, the historic background when it comes to Uzbekistan's city of Samarkand will be giving a view in terms of how the global geopolitics is changing, and on the table will be agendas like, of course, counterterrorism, on issues like connectivity, on trade. In fact, I'm standing at Registan. This is essentially the representative of Uzbekistan, and around me I can hear the voices of helicopters hovering over me, and that shows that how the Uzbeki authorities are making sure that when it comes to this summit, they are leaving no stone unturned, whether it's sprucing up the city. Of course, there are 15 leaders who will be present for the summit on Friday. That is the main day of engagement. Leaders have already started to arrive. Mongolian leaders is here in the city. The Iranian leader is here in the city, and we do expect the Russian and the Chinese also reaching here shortly. But essentially, remember that the global world order is changing very fast. There are new dimensions to the order, and the SCO grouping forms a crucial dimension in terms of an order which both Moscow and Beijing are keen to show is a non-Western world order, and that is why the meeting here or the outcomes here will be deciding the future of the world. In fact, the national coordinator of Uzbekistan when it comes to the SCO spoke to WION just a short while ago and talked about how essentially the group is going to expand this year with Iran becoming the member. In fact, Iran will take the seat in next year's summit that is going to take place in India, as India is handed over the presidency of the grouping. But also on the table is trading in local currencies. We know that both Iran and Russia are facing sanctions from the West, and they're keen that the de-dollarization of the world happens, more and more trading happens in local currency, and that remains the key focus when it comes to this year's summit. Also, this year's summit is in spotlight for the Chinese president's visit, because this is for the first time in 3 years that the Chinese president is visiting abroad. The last visit was in January of 2020 when he visited Myanmar, and after that we know the COVID pandemic stuck, and since then there hasn't been any visit. So this is his first visit. He's starting from Central Asia, from Kazakhstan and from Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan. So the message is clear that China also sees Central Asia as its own backyard and wants to have strong relationship with these countries.
Our correspondent Sidhant Sibal reporting live from Samarkand. Thank you. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.